Picasso, Nina Chanel, all in my bottle.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode 14 of Downtown Dish. I am your host, Katie Schamberger. This is the 816-day episode of the Downtown Dish, and we have got a lot going on this weekend. Strap in. We are going to hear from Bizzy, Benton, who is the brains behind the kind of official organized 816-day event. He's got a lot to tell us. We are also going to check in with one of Kansas City's treasured landmarks and destinations, Matt Naylor, President and CEO of the National World War I Museum and Memorial. Again, lots to tell us about upcoming events, virtual opportunities. The museum is reopened, lots of cool things to share. And congratulations to our friends, Chef Nick Vella of Observation Pizza. Not sure if you have seen the news, but thanks to the incredible support for Nick and for Observation Pizza, it has gone from a temporary pop-up to a permanent business. He's hiring staff. They are now going to be open 6 days a week. So if you have not tried Observation Pizza, do it. Change your life, I swear. Thanks this week and every week to our partners here at the Downtown Dish for making the show possible. Downtown Council, Kansas City Streetcar, Kansas City Downtown Neighborhood Association, and Lynchpin Ideas. Quick reminder, Downtown Dish is on Twitter and Instagram at Downtown Dish KC. Again, both on Twitter and Instagram, so give us a follow. Get behind the scenes, scoops, lots more information, lots of good stuff there. Last but not least, on this 816-day episode, we are thrilled to welcome back They Call Me Sauce as this week's featured musician. Check this out. So, Sauce, we're listening to They Call Me Sauce and his track, Animals. This song was recently selected for NPR's Songs for Change initiative, which is a video series from all of NPR's member stations, including Kansas City's own 90.9 The Bridge. Video series that builds on the national discussion of race and equality. So 12 artists from around the country selected for this playlist, and our very own Sauce was one of them. Can you believe it? Kansas City represented on the national stage. Sauce is so talented. We're going to drop the link here so you can check out that full playlist because it's just an incredible lineup of musicians. But how cool. Sauce, congratulations on this incredible honor, on your success. Thanks again for joining us here on the Downtown Dish. All right, this week on the Downtown Dish, we are looking at all things 816 Day, and we are going to start right here in 18th and Vine. This really is center stage for all of the 816 Day activities happening on Sunday. They've got a full jam-packed day planned here at 18th and Vine, starting at 9 o'clock with yoga on the Vine, plus a number of other fitness classes. From there, going into church on the Vine, there's going to be kids' activities, vendors, food, live music, live performances. Everybody's spaced out. Masks required, sanitizer stations throughout, free masks for the kiddos if they need one. So definitely make plans to come down here on Sunday. Check it out. And we are actually going to get the scoop right now from Bizzy Benton to find out even more about what's happening here at 18th and Vine for 816 Day.
He got sacrificed.
It's a big weekend here in Kansas City, and on the Downtown Dish, we are getting you prepped for 816 Day, August 16th, right around the corner. So thrilled to welcome to the Downtown Dish Bizzy Benton, who is the brains behind 816 Day. Bizzy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Welcome, Kansas City.
Welcome, Kansas City. I feel like I need my Kansas City gear. Don't worry. I'll break it out. I've got a lot of shirts. Take us back and, how did you come up with this idea? Kind of how did it all get started?
Okay. Well, actually, so if you don't know, I'm Bizzy Benton. I am the creator of KC Where You At, which is a Facebook group, actually the biggest urban events Facebook group in Kansas City. Awesome. So I'm just known for doing a little bit of everything anyway.
Okay.
But as far as A16 Day, it was actually a post made by one of my good friends, Sharayla Haynes, who's a local entertainer as well. And she was basically just questioning why we didn't have our own citywide celebrations, such as Detroit with 313 Day, St. Louis has 314 Day, and numerous amounts of big cities that have been doing this for a while. And I happen to be tagged in this post. And so it kind of, I start throwing out questions like, why don't we? Why,
Right.
why shouldn't we? And it kind of just fell off. And so this had to be in 2015.
Okay.
2016, it came up again, and the same thing happened, because how the memories pop back.
Yep.
Same thing happened. So 2017, I said, you know what? If nobody's going to do it, let's start somewhere. And so literally, it just started with going to the Juke House. We were at the Juke House Bar and Grill.
Yep.
Juke House Blues and Jazz House, down on 18th and Vine. And they already had a two-step Wednesday going. And so we just like, hey, just wear your Kansas City gear. We're going to play some Kansas City songs as well.
Yes.
Just have, something small but still commemorative for our beautiful city, 816, Kansas City. So yeah, like you said, after that, I don't know what.
It just kind of snowballed.
I know, to even try to take on a feat such as what it's become today. But I'm glad we did. So I linked up with Shameless KC, my man Caleb Coop, who happened to be working at the Garment House, 2018. And so we said, let's just make something beautiful here. I was still the curator and the person behind and, everything that went into the event.
Yep.
So I said, I want to give something of everything that I love and that is original to Kansas City in one area.
Yep.
All right. So they had the 4 floors. Actually, they have like 6 or 7 floors, but they had 4 floors. And so I decided to put something different on each floor.
Oh, cool.
Jazz, live jazz band and two-stepping. The next floor had open mic type forum. So we had speakers, poets, live band there. Their next floor was an arcade. So we had like a different DJ every hour. And then the final floor was like a concert style floor. So we had our local fashion designers up there. It was more urban street fashion, as well as some hip hop artists up there, such as Walter the Popper, Edwin, who has the KC clothing store on 18th and Vine, and used to see Mr. So Heavy. These are just some old school, some of my old favorite Kansas City rappers. So yeah, like I said, that was like the major, biggest one we had done, and just coming up with the event. And it was, it's each year it's just gotten bigger and better. So this will be the 3rd official year.
Okay, 3rd official year coming up on Sunday. So, which, brings us to this year, which is a little different, but we're forging ahead, right?
We're getting a lot of great feedback because we do know people like alternatives to something safe that they can still get out and enjoy.
Yep.
Nobody likes to get cooped in the house all year. People are having cabin fever. So we did want to have something that they could, look forward to and enjoy in a safe manner.
Yep.
So like you said, last year, we actually moved last year from the Garment House. We moved down to the 18th and Vine district, and we had a block party. So everything was outside. We had live performers, the whole 9. And so that was my agenda this year, was to have a block party, but have it a lot bigger because it falls on a Sunday this year.
Yep.
And so last year was a Friday. We know people had to go to work. And so it was only like a 5 to 9, 5 to 10 type thing. But this year we had a whole day to play with. So we really didn't know which direction we would go, but we wanted to make sure we fit in as much of the beauty of Kansas City as possible in our day.
And what time does everything get started on Sunday?
Sunday. So we're actually starting at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Have yoga on the Vine going. So
love yoga on the Vine. Yes, we had Natasha Fuller on the other week. Yeah. So cool.
So we link with them. We're starting with yoga at 9. 9:30 we have cardio and aerobics. with a couple other instructors. We have strength training at 10, and then 10:30 we have a mixed fit training. So the whole first portion of our day is dedicated to fitness, and then to all be outside behind the Jazz Museum, the pavilion. Bring your blankets, your mats, whatever, space
Yep.
out, and we can still, enjoy each other and work on our 816 stay fit in 816.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. So we linked up with the Freedom Center, Pastor Christian D. Madden, and we're going to have church on the Vine in the same area, right behind the Jazz Museum, the Pavilion, and just have a good time. Just have a good time, and enjoy
Yep.
each other, and just really just a good word over the city. So just get people in the right mind space. We want to touch your body, we want to touch your spirit, and then we can get into a little soul. So, like you said, we have the block party starts at 3, but we
Okay.
a couple things in between to keep people occupied. We will have a kid zone, which we got some donations to give out as far as like hygiene kits, and they have a kids vendors area as well, spaced out. More than 6 feet apart. We also have free masks to give out to the kiddos, hand sanitizer, the whole nine.
What you all are doing and how you've come together and welcoming everybody in with you, that to me is 816 Day.
Definitely.
Right there. Kansas City in a nutshell.
Definitely. I partner with, I have the No Joy Foundation, who does the Fresh Cart, Fresh Start. I have the Royal Cohesive Network, who does the youth vendors. The American Jazz Museum has welcomed me with open arms.
Yes.
Did all the businesses from Soiree to Velvet Freeze and Smacks, Juke House, and the new restaurant, the Corner Bar.
The Corner,
yep. All of them will have $8.16 specials. We have about 70 vendors that will be spaced out for everybody to come, and like all from Kansas City too. And food trucks, the whole nine. It's going to be amazing. And
I love it.
We have shout out to Barbara in Washington. She donated some masks. She have 1,000 masks. She donated.
Wow.
Like I said, some other entities. Front Porch Alliance has donated. We have some socks from somewhere. I don't even know. Booma. They donated socks to give away to kids, and it's so much going on. So we link with Kansas City Greek Picnic. So we have the fraternities and sororities. We have an hour to them, and they will be doing like the absentee ballots as well. We're adding the voter initiative in there. The live performances are from 6 to 8. I have singers, instrumentalists, a couple rap artists, DJs all throughout the day. And then right at 8:16 p.m., we do a 2-stepping in the streets.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. It's going to be an amazing day. And then at 9:30, we're ending the night with a Kansas City Comedy Fest, 816 Day Comedy Fest. And that will be at the Juke House. And we are taking donations for that. We do want the proceeds to go to a local homeless shelter. Yeah, come experience some of the greatest Kansas City comedians that are still active today.
Block off Sunday. Yeah. Like you said, if you want to maybe work out in the morning, bring your mat, bring your towel, of course, bring your masks.
Bring your lawn chairs.
Yes.
Or a blanket, however you want to do it. We're keeping it real old school and just real 8.
And of course, wear your Kansas City gear.
We have merch available.
Yes. Oh, I gotta get one of those. Yes.
And I forgot to wear my shirt, so we also have the 816 Day / Black Lives Matter that has the fist, the whole nine. That will be available for purchase down there, as well as like I said, all the vendors will also have a lot to just add towards everything that we have already, and it's gonna be great.
I'm ready. Well, and it's I'll gratuitously mention this to you, Bizzy. It's the day before my birthday, so 816 Day. I'm like, let's do it up. Let's do it up. Real quick, logistical question for everybody planning to come out Sunday with all those purchasing opportunities you mentioned. Do you know okay to bring cash and card or
Yes, it is okay.
uh,
All the vendors will be set up with hand sanitizing stations at their vendor table. Uh, we'll
okay,
have sanitizer stations around the area as well. So yeah,
great.
yeah. We will prefer
Okay,
card, but we know cash is still accepted too. So we would also
okay,
have glove. We also have gloves to hand out as well. So we're trying to cover all bases,
great.
but still just make for as much as an enjoyable experience as possible.
Oh, well, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Bizzy. This is tremendous. I can't wait to come down on Sunday. Yeah, ready to have some fun and get to know even more people and organizations in the community. So thank you for all you do, and thank you too for making time for us during such a crazy weekend.
Thank you.
So good to have you on the Downtown
Thank you for
Dish.
the invite, and yeah, just thank you for everything. Thank you, Kansas City in general, and Lucas
Yes.
and Brandon Ellington. Everybody actually has a little part in helping this come to fruition. So yeah, I love
Afterlife,
Kansas
they
City.
send voodoo and boo, he ain't
All
happy.
right, friends, our 816 day episode of the Downtown Dish continues, and we are in the city market where there are going to be a ton of specials on Sunday for 816 day, some of them on Saturday. Here's just a sampling. Pigwitch, our friends right behind us here get a fried chicken or pulled pork sandwich, chips, and bottled water, $8.16. Head down to Dutch Flowers. You can get 8 sunflowers for 16 bucks. You're sensing the theme there, right? Okay, 816, just making sure. Hawthorne 109 has got great, soft, cozy blanket throws, perfect for fall and winter coming up. Um, oh my gosh. Up on Delaware Street, our friends at Modern Man Supply Company, 25% off apparel and grooming products. FlexPod, if you sign up for one of their co-working spaces, use 816day, that code, and you will get 2 free credit hours there. So much more. Go to the Downtown Neighborhood Association's website, dnakcmo.org/816day. All of the downtown business specials are going to be there. Some in the city market are applicable both Saturday and Sunday. Most of what's going on is going to be happening on Sunday, 816 day. Hope to see you out and about this weekend. It's going to be a good one.
For ya.
Very excited on this episode of the Downtown Dish to bring you our next chat with Matt Naylor, who is the president and CEO of the National World War I Museum and Memorial right here in Kansas City. Matt, welcome to the Downtown Dish.
Yeah, great to be with you.
So let's talk first about the museum. It is reopened for people who may not have realized that. Matt, I'm curious. You guys have such an active and wonderful social media presence, and I saw some great pictures about some things happening behind the scenes to maybe, space out some things and make sure that you're hitting current guidelines and regulations. What's that process been like the last few weeks to prepare to reopen?
When we shut the doors, it was such a loss for us and for the city as well. Seeing the galleries empty is just heartbreaking.
Yes.
We had a wonderful online presence during that time, and a whole lot of our staff worked on a transcription project, which was taking letters and diaries and making them available to people right across the globe that they can then run through translation or reading programs. So really exciting stuff that happened during the shutdown, but we were really yearning for the time that we'd open. Mm-hmm. So we did a whole lot of planning around that for weeks and weeks leading up to, and trying to create the safest visitor experience and also create a safe environment for our more than 300 volunteers and also our staff.
Well, and so the museum is reopened. I love on the website, there's just some wonderful details about the precautions that you're taking. I believe, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but online registration is encouraged or required?
You can buy your tickets online or you can buy them in person. The upside of getting them online is that there's a center door as you approach the museum. You've got the big bronze doors, and the middle doors are those people who've already bought their tickets and online. And so it's easy to go on in, straight in, then into the main galleries. Otherwise, just enter on in and our guest services staff will help all guests. And what you'll find is that our volunteers and our staff will be wearing masks, and that there'll be extra cleaning that's going on. We've had to turn off our touch interactives, which is, we're sad to see that happen, but in the, abundance of caution. But we are able to still use our electronic tours. So, they're the devices that you can listen to, and because they can be sanitized after each use, it's safe for us to use those. So people will just see that there's a regular sort of precautions that we're becoming ever so used to now.
I'm very excited about this, but the Votes and Voices exhibit that is focused on women getting the right to vote, is that correct?
That's right. So this West Gallery area, which before we had the historic postcards that were in, which have been there for a number of years and were really quite wonderful. But we said, let's take this a moment when we'd already been preparing for an exhibition to tell the story of the 19th Amendment. Whilst we're closed, let's do an installation in that period, in that West Gallery. So we're able to repaint it, put in new lights, and then install this. It's what we call a flat exhibition or a two-dimensional exhibition that tells the story of the journey and how World War I played a part in extending the vote to women. For us today, we'd sort of think, it's such a bizarre idea that women were not permitted to vote for many, many years. Or rather, even it wasn't all that many years ago that women were given the vote. In fact, in some European countries, it wasn't until the 1970s that was extended. So this exhibition tells that story and talks about how World War I also contributed to this really important shift that occurred in the United States.
Having this kind of rich historical context that you then can connect with actions that hopefully all of us who are of voting age are doing right now is just some incredible synchronicity.
Right. No matter where you are on the political spectrum, I think that this is such a powerful story for all Americans to understand. And as you say, it's really fits with the current moment where no matter where you are on that political spectrum, we certainly here are encourage people to exercise their right to vote. That's the Woodrow Wilson says that the engagement of the United States in World War I was in part to make the world safe for democracy. And one of the most basic tenets of democracy is exercising our right to vote.
But Matt, I wanted to talk to you because, we're still in the midst of, prime time for some outdoor events. And I know the museum has some really incredible things coming up later this month in August, as well as into early fall. Can you give us an update on some of those key happenings?
Yeah, surely. In July, we experimented with a film outside, a movie outdoors, and we did 1917, and it was sold out. It was such a great experience. Outdoor events are one of the real safe things for us to do. We had the Great American Car Show here a couple of weeks ago, which was a wonderful experience, and people are keen to be able to come out, whereas maybe you might feel a little bit nervous about being indoors, although here at the National World War I Museum and Memorial, in gallery, you really can distance yourself from other people. So it's not really it's a safe environment. But we have a wonderful experience on the 29th of August, Living the Great War Saturday, and then that evening, Jazz on the Lawn, a modern picnic, which would be a wonderful experience where we'll have musicians, Grand Marquis, a big brass band will be playing, food trucks, although people are encouraged to bring their own picnic, and we'll have marked out the South Lawn to create little cubes where you can be and then be far enough away from other people. So it's a great place to bring your family and to be safe. So a
Perfect.
wonderful experience. I think for the community that so many people are yearning to get out and do something fun.
Yes.
So Jazz on the Lawn is going to be one of those things.
And the gala is coming up later in the fall.
That's right, on the 12th of September, and you can learn about that from the website. And usually that's an indoor experience here at the National World War I Museum and Memorial. But this year we're taking it out into the community.
Okay.
So whether it be just a gathering in your own home with those that you live with, or maybe you've got a small circle where you could bring together a few friends and be safe and still support the museum and memorial. And there'll be a live streamed, about a 35-minute broadcast as part of that experience. Like many institutions, being closed for this period has had a profound impact on the economics of the museum. We don't receive federal funds, despite the fact that we're congressionally designated. And so the generosity of the community is really what brought the museum and memorial here in the first place. It's the original crowdsourced funding story.
It is.
And it's really what sustains us. So this gala, Night at the Tower, although it'll be in people's homes this year, is an important part of keeping the flame alive and keeping the museum and memorial here as the gathering place, the front porch of Kansas City.
Oh, the front porch of Kansas City. I know I'm just always in the mood to learn something new. I can't overstate how many resources are waiting for you on the website.
You're spot on. One of the big watched lectures that we have, of the more than 200 lectures available, is about the pandemic of 1918, 1919. Right. So people are really interested to learn what happened then. In the United States, it had a massive impact. And so to learn about that, it sort of puts our current experience in a bit of historic context, and to be able to understand how people managed through coming out of a war and then dealing with this global pandemic, and in fact how they managed. And it can be an encouraging sort of educational experience as well.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to shout out any favorite downtown Kansas City restaurants, bars, other businesses where you like to spend your time.
Yeah, well, two come to mind immediately, and the first one is Westside Local.
Yes.
And what a great gem of a spot that is.
Oh,
and,
love it.
I know that they're back open, although they're doing just carry out, but it's always have fantastic, fresh, and really interesting menu there at Westside Local. And then the second place that we really enjoy is at the Majestic at the Jazz Club. So a favorite of ours on a Friday or a Saturday night is to be downstairs there. I'm looking forward to getting back into there and then spending time with Bram, one of the foremost stride piano players in the world here in Kansas City. It's not uncommon for friends from New York or from Sydney or London to be here, and then for them to be at the museum and say, oh my gosh, this is extraordinary to see a museum of this quality here in the heartland. I'd expect to see this in Paris or in New York or in DC. And then for them to be able to go to local restaurants and say, this is as good as we get. And then to go to the Majestic or some of the other jazz clubs that we've got and say, wow, you wouldn't be able to experience this even in New York. And I think that speaks to the sort of the quality of the city that Kansas City is.
Well, Matt, thank you. I know that things are continuing at the museum. We're so glad to hear that. If there is more news that we can share, anything we at the Downtown Dish can do, you have a seat at our table anytime.
We've got some exciting exhibitions coming up that I know your audience is going to love. We're looking forward to announcing those.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.
I want to provoke a thought, man, with this song.
Another way to celebrate 816 Day. Maybe you want to make downtown Kansas City your new home, or you live downtown and you're looking for a new place. The Virtual Homes Tour 2020 Downtown Urban Homes Tour kicks off this weekend, kicks off Saturday. It's all virtual. So you can look through downtown properties at your leisure, pour yourself coffee, maybe a cocktail, whatever, curl up, just get ready to see some of the coolest downtown properties, including One Light, Two Light, Reverb, Centropolis on Grand, The Grand, and Flash Cube Luxury Apartments.
All of the information, all of the virtual tours and listings are available at dnakcmo.org/urban-homes-tour. So definitely sometime this weekend, check it out, find a new place to live here in downtown Kansas City. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode of the Downtown Dish 816 Day. Can you believe everything that's going on this weekend? Full-on socially distanced block party at 18th and Vine. Specials at businesses from one side of downtown to the other. So if you're feeling comfortable, if you're feeling good about it, get out, support these local businesses, wear that Kansas City gear, wear it at home, go get some takeout, bring it back home, have your own 816 Day celebration. Thank you again for tuning in. Next week, come back and see us, because guess what we're going to talk about? Tacos, baby. All things tacos. Hope to see you next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Happy 816 Day. Love you, Casey.
Riding around with his heat, trying to duck his enemies. Got the face of a lion.